Alright, hello, this is Gabriel, and this is Shenandoah National Park. I came here yesterday and spent the evening at a campground about 10 miles from here, and now I'm on my way back to DC. But my goodness, look at this view. Okay, so we're pretty close to the northernmost entrance to the park. I think it's called Thornton Gap. There's a tunnel you have to go to, and then there's the park exit. And yesterday I saw stalactites as I rode under that tunnel. And I think they're gonna still be there. It gets cold up here. I think it was in the 30s, low 30s last night. And riding under the stalactites was, well, I definitely made sure to keep my bike as perfectly straight as possible. Yeah, there's a cyclist trying to slow everybody down. That is unbelievable. Hey, okay, good. Look at that ice. Wow. This is pretty slippery. Okay, this is the part that requires a lot of engine braking, I suppose, because it's just downhill all the way. There's that sign. Before I had a motorcycle last year, when I saw this sign, yeah, okay, high crash area next 3 miles, I remember thinking, if I ever get a motorcycle, I need to come up here and see what they mean. So, see what they mean. This is a fun road. This is a fun road. All right. I'm so excited. I've been dreaming of... There we go. I've been dreaming of riding this road for so long. It is such a pretty road. So I spent a month in these parts last year, and it is such pretty country. And the place where I stayed at was maybe 2 miles from the Shenandoah Park borderline, official demarcation. And so I was what, just a couple miles from Old Rag. Old Rag is the sort of tallest peak, highest peak in this part, in this range. It's just a gorgeous country. that's Old Rag, I think. And it's called Old Rag because, and this is what a local told me, it's called Old Rag because it resembles a kitchen rag on top of a mountain. An old kitchen rag. And that's a really funny way to describe such a beautiful mountain. To call a mountain Old Rag, I suppose that's whoever named that must have, look at that, must have had an interesting sense of humor. There's a winery here, Sharp Rock Vineyard, and then a bigger, more well-known winery a bit further up on this road. But I'm going to make a right here to there you go, that's Old Rag. I don't know, that doesn't look like an old rag to me. That looks like a troll resting on its side, looking upwards. I'm gonna call it an old troll. I think my daughters will appreciate that. Yeah, this last summer I spent a month just a couple of miles from the trailhead to Old Rag. It's a beautiful part of town. That motorcycle is still there. It was there last year. It's still there. Look at that. Can you imagine living here and having Old Rag? Having Old Rag and what you see out your window? Amazing, right? Oh, and the air smells like pine. Something fresh, clean. Look at that. I need to stop. Look at that. I met the owner of this farm last year. She lives, I suppose, half a mile from the farm, up towards the mountain. I don't know much about her, but she seemed remarkable to me. She spoke so slowly. You know, I said I had finished my time in that area, and so I was all busy trying to get out of this part so I could get to DC before night, which I didn't. And so I was all rushed, and I meet her, and I'm feeling like being polite. I felt like stopping by and just saying just a quick hello before I'd go on my way, and to not appear rude. And she just talked to me so slowly, and she was telling me about her family and telling me about this land and these parts, telling me about bear, that they're really crafty and they can open the bear-proof trash cans. And I thought, when I was done and I started driving, I thought, you know, I'm really glad I met you. You put me at ease. And I remember I tried to talk like that and have that attitude when I got back into town. By town I mean DC, and it didn't work. DC is the kind of place that makes you go! Go, 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 go! I met someone that told me that this place, that it's good to come here every now and then to Get away from the choices you made that brought you to DC. She must be pretty jaded, but I thought it was an interesting way of putting it. There's an old shed up there. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it. Let's see if I can slow down. There's an opening here, and then we'll be able to take a look. Yeah, that thing. It's pretty incredible, huh? The composition of the old tree and the shed. It's just perfect. This is a postcard. I met the owner of that property too. And he was telling me how bear in these parts get drunk when the apple trees yield fruit, and that he said you'll see bear stumbling about on your property because they've had they'll just feast on fermented apples. And I never saw a jolly bear, but just the thought of seeing a bear, you know, stumbling about full of fermented fruit, that's a pretty funny thing to think about. Alright, so now the trick is to figure out how to get back to DC, or at least to Sperryville. I can only imagine it is not by going right. So I'll make a left and we'll see where that takes me. Okay, that's it. I pulled up into the Sperryville corner store parking lot where there's a little bit of shade because it's getting pretty hot in the sun. And I'm going to drive back to DC now, see if I can avoid the traffic. It's a Sunday, so people are trying to get back into town. That's it for now. Goodbye.